Hey guys! So, guess what we saw? In a galaxy far, far... You know what this is.
Yeah, we saw Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Yeah, it was really nice seeing it the second time. I really enjoy the character dynamic here, and it's far more funny.
JK, we saw Star Wars. Don't shoot me.
Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
So who shot first, me or Tomas?
Yes! Who's gonna get shot first is the better question.
Oh, that just makes me sad because Han's not in this movie.
Why you gotta hurt me like that?
This movie hurts in different ways, but in an entertaining way.
Everyone, chill with the spoilers. Chill.
Yeah, non-spoiler.
Everyone, chill out.
Non-spoiler section.
Yeah.
Todavía no estamos ahí.
Okay,
So,
first,
what's the full name of this movie again?
Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
There we go.
All right.
So basically, after the events of The Force Awakens, First Order is still chasing down the Resistance, and they're...
Chill.
It's a summary.
I know, but I don't want to talk about the story either. I don't know what constitutes as a spoiler.
Okay, fine. So how could we
summarize
this without a spoiler?
Pretty much, long story short, if you want to watch this movie, to be honest with you, okay, this movie is a bunch of things. This movie is very dialogue heavy. This movie is also 2.5 hours long. It's a very long movie. This movie might be longer than Attack of the Clones. Maybe. I think Attack of the Clones was 2 hours flat.
And if you were expecting it to be like an action flick, not so much.
It's more of a very dialogue and plot heavy kind of movie.
Mostly missions. Lots of missions. It's a big quest.
Reminds me of kind of like not fully on the structure of Iron Man 2, where it was dialogue heavy and then we got some action near the end, but
it's like some action sprinkled or
yeah. There's like granted.
Fuck. Ignore that.
Okay, I'll pretend like it didn't happen. Just edit that out. Anyway, so the thing with that movie, the thing with this movie is that it's not as dialogue heavy or like nearly as lengthy as like Lord of the Rings style.
Nope.
But it does have like moments where it does break up the pace and it does keep you entertained. But yeah, this movie is definitely a plot heavy movie. It's very lore based. And it brings up very interesting points that I honestly enjoyed, but I don't think everyone is going to enjoy. Is this movie still good? This movie's still great in my opinion.
Oh, it is. Like, I didn't have to know as much lore as you had to, but I could still follow with it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it even more knowing the lore.
Mm-hmm. Which is always a good thing.
I mean, hey, you don't. The thing is, my mom doesn't really like. This is a Star Wars movie that both old and new fans can enjoy. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And like, unlike the previous episode, I feel like it's a bit more engaging.
For a number of reasons, and let's get this out of the way. To the ones who keep complaining about like the snappy dialogue, the jokes and stuff, the quipping.
We'll talk about that when we get to some of the characters. But like, the point is, guys,
it's not a problem for them to quip.
It's not a big deal, I don't think. Again, it's just something's got to break up the monotony. Otherwise, you get Attack of the Clones.
Oh no, they're trying to marvelize Star Wars.
And like, that's a bad thing?
Yeah, here's the thing, alright? Okay. Attack of the Clones sucks. Okay, I'm gonna say this straight out. Like, that is my least favorite Star Wars movie. And that's because a lot of that movie is very monotonous. So, I mean, and while this movie's longer, I still like this movie a hell of a lot more. Okay. But anyway, but yeah, overall, this movie's great. It's definitely worth a watch. Again, like I said, it's mainly a plot-heavy movie. So if you're coming in here for complete action sequences and like all the things that, like, I don't know, just for like, if you're coming in here and expecting a complete action movie, this is not the movie. This is the plot movie.
I feel like it's also kind of a passing of the torch kind of thing, where out with the like as the old stuff is starting to fade. We're entering a new era, and I really like that. And it also makes it more accessible to the newer generation, but still giving, the old crew, their just, their justice, their time in the spotlight, just like with, just like with Han. But again, it's very entertaining. It's enjoyable. It rarely ever dragged.
Yeah,
there are some sections where it seemed a bit longer than it should have been, and there are a couple of things that kind of came out of nowhere for me. But it's still enjoyable. And also, again, I don't mind the quipping. If anything, it kept me more engaged. It kept me entertained. And also considering that near the end it starts to get very heavy. You kind of need moments of levity, and at the very least, it prepares you for those very, very almost hopeless kind of moments. And my only complaint is I wish we could have had a bit more Rey. I feel like we spent more time with the Resistance more than Rey, but that's a minor gripe.
Yeah, that's a minor.
Yeah, I felt that too. Like there was less Rey in this movie.
Yeah, but to me, I feel like the one thing that this movie holds over like other movies, in my opinion, is that it's not like a tradition. It's not a the movie's trying to do its own thing.
Yeah,
and that's what I really like about this movie. It's not just like your traditional Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's not following the template of like every second movie in a new trilogy, in a new Star Wars trilogy has to follow like the whole sort of Empire Strikes Back plot, where it's just a full-on war. Mm-hmm. This one was more like survival.
Even if The Force Awakens was basically A New Hope in a sense, it
was completely A New Hope.
Yeah,
it was literally like freeing. They had Starkiller Base and the Death Star, and that's all I needed to see. And I'm like, okay, that's New Hope.
It's like done.
But it was entertaining at least. But at least A New Hope. Like it's real here. But other than that, though, I think this movie's definitely worth a watch. Hell, I watched it. Oh, yeah. I watched it twice, and the second time I watched it, it was even better because I sat there and paid attention more to like all the details, and it was a lot of fun.
And I kind of liked some of the the more nuanced things that happened in it, which of course we'll get into. Even even in regards to like the Sith and the Jedi, and also how the Resistance was handling itself. I like the more nuanced ideas, and also even breaking away from typical archetypes. I'm using all these buzzwords because I can't give up spoilers right now.
There you go. But anyway, alright, so everyone agree? We all like this movie?
Yeah.
Alright, definitely go see it. Totally worth it. And, so from here on out,
spoilers.
Everything we say is a spoiler.
May the Force be with you. There are spoilers.
If you have reached this mark, stop this video and give it a like, though. But anyway, this is spoiler territory. If you hear anything and you want to be like, you spoiled this movie, we warned you. Alright?
So basically, yeah, the story is about the First Order. They're still at large. They're still, hunting down the Resistance, which is already at its last lifeline right now.
Mm-hmm.
Really, there's very few of them left. They're down to their last ships and everything. And Rey is still with Luke Skywalker, trying to get him back to, help us out. We're all kind of dying.
Yeah. And the thing with Luke is that Luke is very much against the idea of the Jedi existing. And he does bring up some very semi-justifiable points for, like, his mentality on, like, what the Jedi is, what the Force is. And we'll talk about it in detail in a bit. And like while this is going on, supposedly the First Order is hunting down the like Julia said, the last of the Resistance, and you got that subplot going on. And like the whole goal is to basically destroy this tracking thing that's basically tracking the Resistance no matter where they go,
even at light speed, which they say is impossible. Which let's not try to pick apart the science there.
Yeah, I forget what exactly what they said. The point is, but yeah, the point is, there you go. That's like what this movie's generally going on about.
And Finn and new character Rose have to go and find this code breaker who can get them into Snoke's ship.
Oh yeah, Snoke's ship shows up and it totally just wrecks everyone's day.
Oh yeah, the code breaker is played by Benicio del Toro, who is Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
I could not guess I could not guess that. But,
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh no, I could. Yeah.
I thought you.
I believe it. I believe it.
No.
I believe it.
I got played. Anyway,
and if they don't get the code breaker to the resistance right away, they're going to run out of fuel, and the First Order is going to destroy them all.
Pretty much.
Basically, just First Order, and then the resistance, like, slow. In essence, it's the slowest chase.
Well, I mean, you're moving like you. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, freaking. Put it in perspective. Okay.
Yeah, it's space. So.
No, not space. You got Imperial Star Destroyer. They have the Dreadnought in the beginning, which unfortunately you guys missed because I was late as fuck due to people not being people.
Oh no, it's okay. We got the gist of it.
Oh yeah, by the way, we got it in the start of the movie. I won't lie, the action sequence at the start of the movie was pretty good because we got to see Poe and why he's an ace pilot because my man's a G. But anyway,
even if it results in Leia demoting him,
yeah, which is pretty good. But whatchamacallit? So I was like, so yeah. Imperial Star Destroyer, Dreadnought, which is like two hands, alright? Okay. And then you have Imperial Star Destroyer, and then it's like, we blew up the Dreadnought, woohoo, Snoke ship! Like the size of like my freaking dashboard.
Now, just imagine Thanos' ship at the end of Thor Ragnarok.
If it was bigger! That's Snoke's ship!
Oh, we finally get to see Snoke, and apparently, somehow the hologram is more intimidating.
In the flesh.
Well, I mean, Snoke. Okay, first up, Snoke is an actual person. He's not anyone else.
Don't worry, he's not Lando or anything.
He's not Jar Jar Binks.
He's not Darth Plagueis.
He's an actual person. If you read the books, you'll know who Snoke is.
He's not Perkins, who.
Rip.
Yeah. But I'm not too familiar with the backstory of Snoke off the top of my head. I've heard about it, but like, yeah.
But he's a villain that just serves the purpose of big bad guy for now.
Mm-hmm.
In essence, kind of like the Fire Lord, we didn't have to know in depth who he is and his personality all that much. He was just a means to an end.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the other villains around him that we know very well. Well, one.
And yeah, only Kylo Ren. Anyway, so can we talk about one important person? I want to talk about my man Luke Skywalker.
It's like
I love Luke in this movie. Okay.
The last we saw him, Rey had found him, and he's handing him this lightsaber. Like, oh, thanks.
She just chucks it, and he's like, "Nope, I'm not teaching any more Jedi." The last time I tried to teach Jedi, my school burnt down. Kylo Ren killed everyone. All right,
my dad's lightsaber's outdated.
I'm not doing this anymore. Nope, no more. And like the thing is, he has some very good reasoning behind it because he did try to. Luke, being older and wiser, realizes the Jedi are flawed fundamentally because this idea kind of goes back to originally what Qui-Gon Jinn thought a long while back. He thought of the Jedi primarily used the Force to do good things, and that was their thing. They would bend the will of the Force, whereas Qui-Gon believed in following the will of the Force. It's two different things. It sounds complicated, I know, but like, yeah, that's what one of the ideas that Luke kind of ended up trying to like teach people, or not teach people, like live by.
And also he brings up how the Sith exists mainly because of the Jedi, or at least they keep existing because of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Balance.
Or, some moral compromises and moments of weakness that lead to more Sith being...
Example, one of the things he says in this movie is, it was a Jedi Master that created Lord Vader. Guess what, guys? Qui-Gon Jinn did that. Because he found Anakin Skywalker, and it all started from there.
What a great man, wasn't he?
I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn was a great dude. What are you talking about, anyway?
Once again, high midi-chlorian.
Nope, we retconned that. We retconned it. We said, nope, retcon. Erased. Retcon. It's just the Force now.
Thank you, Luke.
It's just the Force.
It's like, Chlorians, what is that bullshit?
One of the things that this movie establishes, though, it establishes like a lot of base rules for Star Wars. I want to say, like, if you're not familiar with lore anyway.
Or reestablishes them.
I mean, there you go, that too.
Yeah.
But, like, the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, it tells you what the Force exactly is. Whereas, like, some people are still under misconception, oh, the Force is the power the Jedi wield to, like, do things and lift rocks.
Which is what Rey says because she's a newbie.
Yeah, and Luke is like, no, the Force is what is basically makes up everything. And, like, it is not a power, it's just something that exists in everything, period.
And the Jedi know how to manipulate.
Yeah.
So, reach out.
Oh, God. So that's another thing. Luke is an asshole in this movie, but he's entertaining. It's so... And the thing is that the Skywalkers have always been snappy people, alright? The Skywalkers have always been, okay? They've always been one to talk, alright? I'll never forget little Anakin. Are you an angel? What?
Straight up flirt.
My man got with Natalie Portman because he asked her if she was an angel. What a legend. Anyway.
And it's not just Luke Skywalker. Even Leia has a few lines.
Oh, Leia too. Yeah, because they're related.
Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, Carrie. We love you.
I'm so happy that she got all of her scenes filmed.
Oh yeah, me too. But anyway, so one of the another. Oh my God, everyone's favorite moment with Luke for me. The funniest moment was just like he's instructing Rey on how to basically reach out with the Force. So he has her sit down and like he goes reach out. She closes her eyes, she puts her hand out, and Luke decides to go put a piece of grass by it. And Gray goes, I can feel something. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wait, really? Oh, yes. Oh, that's the Force. Oh, what? Like, yeah, you must be really strong with the Force. Oh my God, that's the Force. And he just slaps her hand like you're an idiot.
Reach out with your mind, damn it.
He just looks at her with that stone cold face. You're a moron. Like, he didn't say anything. It's so good. Well, like,
and it's
just like, and even like you're saying, Leia has some snappy lines in this movie, right? At one point, Poe tries to take charge and says, "Follow me," and everyone looks back at Leia, and Leia goes, "What are you looking at me for? Follow him."
Or even when Poe was trying to take control of the ship and, let's not evacuate.
Yeah.
And then it's like, Leia!
Boom! And everyone just shoots him.
And also, since we're in spoiler territory, I really like that, the purple hair lady, that she wasn't a dick, she wasn't a coward. And in a way, it was their only option. Mm-hmm. I mean, the ship is dying.
The reason why that... whatchamacallit, so during the assault on the last of the rebel ships, only like a few of them got away, but apparently the bridge exploded. Can I get a rest in peace for my man, It's a Trap, Admiral Akbar?
Yeah.
He died in this movie, so I mean, there you go. Rest in peace him. He's been around for freaking ages, dude. Jeez.
I mean, he didn't get a send-off, but Carrie Fisher had for a second there, I thought she was gonna. I thought Leia was gonna die.
Right. The bridge explodes.
Yeah.
Everyone on the bridge dies.
That was great.
Leia got pulled out to space, and it's like, okay, she's dead.
She pulled herself back to the ship.
And here's the thing: everyone else is like amazed and shit, and I'm just like, bro, she's a Skywalker. What do you expect?
You think Luke's the only one who could do this?
I mean, yeah, she's a Skywalker.
Yeah, but I guess that was the concept that like, oh, okay, I guess she also has Force powers.
Yeah, she does. She just isn't trained.
Yeah, you never saw it in the original trilogy, so
but still
it was
strong.
A bit of a surprise.
But still strong enough to pull herself back into the ship. And surprisingly, she didn't die out in space.
That's the Skywalker blood. Like, oh my God. Like, I won't lie, that was really cool to watch.
It's not my time to die.
But I did like that scene where Kylo Ren's TIE fighter actually passed by. They both felt each other, and then he was about to pull the trigger to fire on the bridge,
and he didn't do it.
But his crew did it, so there you go.
Yeah.
So Leia's mainly unconscious for like majority of this movie.
Yeah.
Although a part of the sadistic part of the sadistic funny side of me just wanted like, what if Leia just strayed across Kylo's windshield.
Oh god.
Oh no.
As he passes by the destroyed bridge, it's like, yep, that's her mom.
I just killed my mom.
Anyway, yeah, I want to talk about. So yeah, like you said, there isn't a lot of Rey in this movie.
Yeah, she's mostly training with.
I mean, if you want to call it training.
Training.
Not. I don't know. I feel like it was kind of a half-assed lesson.
Mainly, she's just trying to convince him to come back.
Yeah.
Which isn't working.
And Rey tries to learn more a bit about herself and who she is. On top of that, right, another thing is, Luke is also teaching Rey about why the Jedi should end, because again, like I said, they use the Force to bend it to their will. And on top of that, they view themselves as like these amazing people.
It's like, and it feels like Luke really, the reason why he believes the Jedi should die is because we claim to be, these saviors or whatever, but in reality, we've kind of contributed to a lot of it, so it's time that we stop, we die.
We just went out, that's it. But he did train Rey. He eventually reluctantly agreed to train her. It wasn't like the best training like he had on like Dagobah, but it was something.
He said he was just gonna give her like 3 lessons.
Yep, well, it's still something.
I was hoping for the 3rd lesson to carry him on her back.
Oh my god. But speaking of carrying on the back,
oh, I did not see that coming.
My favorite character, or one of my favorite characters, is in this movie. My man Yoda is back, and he shows up as a ghost form.
In puppet form.
Still puppet form.
And I want to know, where the fuck have you been?
I'm a ghost. I'm only here to dispense pearls of wisdom.
Where the fuck have you been? But anyway, that aside, alright, I'm very happy to see Yoda and him just be Yoda.
Yeah, it's just the wise troll to me.
No, not really troll. Like, he is the real wisest.
Oh no, I don't mean troll as in troll.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but yeah, he is the wisest of the Jedi, and it's like the things he says to Luke when Luke is kind of just on the edge. Like, it's the realest things. Like, he tells him, oh, students is,
the students
are meant to basically grow up and grow beyond you. That's what they're meant to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, he's like, you forgot what I told you back when I died. Alright? I told you, pass on what you have learned.
Which he did.
Mm-hmm, which he did.
Kinda.
Yep. And he's like, look, failure's a great teacher. And it's just him and Yoda having a conversation. And it's like...
A little bop with the cane.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know when the answers are right in front of your nose.
You're always looking to the horizon. And just watching, like, Yoda just be Yoda for, like, that few minutes of him just giving Luke the pep talk was really satisfying.
I really liked that scene,
That
too.
was great.
And also when he was about to burn down the tree, it's like, let me help. I even questions like,
and this is why like he's like well renowned, because he's also kind of a free thinker, in a sense. One of his deals is like he kind of just blew up the old Jedi texts, and Luke is like, but the texts are in there, and he's just like, they're just a bunch of old books.
There's nothing in there that Rey herself doesn't already embody.
They're not really a page turner anyway.
Again, it's like, see, the quips are a good thing.
That's it's funny is that it doesn't. Yeah, just to talk about that, right? The quips don't detract from character personality, because that's what these characters do. Like Yoda totally does that. That sounds like something Yoda would say. All right.
Also, did you happen to see when Finn? Speaking of the text, like, did anyone notice that the texts were actually in?
Yep. Rey has them.
It's like, oh.
Yep.
Pass on what you have learned.
She must have like stolen them before she left.
Anywho,
Luke doesn't believe in the text anymore anyway. So like, I'll just steal him. It's not like he's gonna notice.
Anyway, so we're gonna talk more about this. We're talking about Kylo Ren.
Like with Rey, he's a little bit pushed to the sideline until near the end.
Yeah, but like, I feel like him and Rey have enough interaction.
A lot more because they have this force.
It really does set
connection.
up. Well, I mean, what that is, that's
force
Snoke.
connection.
That's Snoke manipulating their minds. But anyway, so what was it? Kylo Ren and Rey have a lot of interactions, or like enough interaction in this movie.
She wants to,
understand why
he is this way, and maybe make him not a bad guy.
So yeah, eventually, like Rey thinks he's totally evil, but then she starts to realize Kylo Ren's actually very conflicted.
Like he's just a confused teenager, which he kind of.
And I mean, it's just one of the things is that he himself realizes that he cannot really live up to be Darth Vader, and like he's being told that by Snoke, and so that's basically causing him to break down.
Not to mention his former teacher did try to kill him.
True. But anyway. But yeah, eventually Kylo Ren eventually it is seen that Kylo Ren will basically turn and basically be a good guy. That's true and not true.
He does help out Rey, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
That scene with Lord Snoke, and I see into his mind. I see that my apprentice is going to stab you in the face.
No, I got you. All right, the dialogue for this scene is absolutely perfect.
It really is.
I love it.
I like that scene.
Because Kylo Ren is plotting to kill Snoke, and Snoke says, "I see into his mind. I see as he turns the lightsaber." There is a lightsaber next to Snoke, and he is using the Force to manipulate it. And then he ignites the blade, and he kills his true enemy. And then, literally the next second, Snoke dies.
Oh shit!
Which was the coolest, one of the coolest ways I've seen, dialogue be written around to kill someone.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
I think that was the moment where he realized, I should actually, Kylo Ren should actually stay in the dark side per se.
Yeah, I think
he lost his soul.
Although it was both badass to see the lightsaber go through Snoke and funny when the body fell over.
Yeah, but Snoke dies, which is awesome. In my opinion.
Was just a means to an end.
Yep, it just made Kylo Ren stronger. About it.
And it seems like, he's going to be a good guy. No.
Nope. Kylo Ren.
Stop there.
Yep, Kylo Ren does not. He just basically wants. Power. He just wants everything to end. That's
Power.
It.
It's like enough of this Jedi resistance of the Sith New Order crap. It's like, let's start something new, Rey.
We will rule.
And I kind of like that.
It's like Darth Vader, but half-assed.
It was I felt that was a very powerful heel
turn.
Yeah, heel turn.
Double heel turn.
Double heel turn, man. Holy
Triple
crap.
axle, kind of. But yeah. As for everyone else, Finn gets to go with new character. I was hoping that he would be with Poe, but Poe has to man the ship from crazy general lady, but who turns out not to be so crazy.
Yeah, Finn's just Finn.
Finn's just Finn.
Finn's still stupid. Finn is the dumbest character in this movie. All right.
But without him, we wouldn't have the hacker that betrayed them in the end.
But here's the thing: Finn is adorable still.
He is.
He's just fun to watch.
He also just really wants to help Rey and everybody else.
Yeah, he's just a really good guy.
Also,
can we talk about my man Chewbacca? My man Chewbacca's a god.
And he's made new friends with chicken people.
I don't know what they're called, but they're adorable. But the point is, I met Chewbacca's a god. But besides that, alright, one other thing about Luke is that at the very end, Luke, unfortunately, he dies, guys!
He projected himself how many light years away to just screw with Kylo Ren.
Screw with Kylo Ren! Which was the best shit. And literally his last line is, "See you around, kid."
He literally
mouthed him off.
He literally told him, "Beat it, kiddo."
But apparently it was his time. I mean, projecting himself, using the Force, how many light years away, obviously killed him.
Yeah, it wasn't really that. It was basically how Yoda went out.
Oh, so just fading away kind of thing.
Yes. It's the same thing as how Yoda went out.
And I kind of like...
He's now a Force ghost.
I kind of like how the multiple suns in the horizon just set, and, kind of harkening back, with him on the farm.
Tatooine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
What a way to send off a character, man.
Luke has officially died, and that makes me really sad, but...
Mark Hamill, thank you.
It is what it is. Luke is now rest in potatoes.
Maybe we'll see him in episode 9 as a Force Ghost.
He'll be a Force Ghost. Like, that's the thing. He's gonna be a Force Ghost.
Yeah.
But it's just like, him himself as a character is no more.
So, yeah, overall, I liked some of the, it calls into question, it may seem like Luke's decision to, end the Jedi, let this all end, let it be dead. It seems rash, but you understand where it's coming from.
Yeah. It's very...
It provides a more nuanced look at the Jedi, but at the same time, near the end, of course, it's not going to be the only Jedi. They'll live on in another form, just Team Jedi 2.0.
Yep. It's very, he has a very just... the thing I love with this movie is that, again, we reevaluate what the Force is. We establish Luke's justifiable reasons for why the Jedi must end. What's the other thing? Right. And we basically, just set up, our new characters to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a big deal, I feel. Going into the next movie.
A lot of more nuance, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of nuance, the purple-haired general lady, can we talk about that wonderful sacrifice? At first, it seems like she's going to be a dick and a coward. When she used light speed to destroy Snoke's ship.
That was fucking
ridiculous. I always wonder what happened to. It's something I've never known. I was like, what happens if you light speed something?
It's going to destroy not only the thing you ran into, but yourself, because you're going to be scattered across 5 different star systems. Yeah. All of the debris that way.
My mouth was straight up agape when that freaking happened.
Now
holy fucking shit.
Now that was cool.
Incredible.
And not only destroyed Snoke's ship, but also the debris hit how many of the others?
Yep.
Yeah.
At light speed.
It destroyed some of the other ships, I guess.
And yeah, so this movie is still really good. We reevaluate what the Jedi are, and it creates a little bit more nuance. The equipping helps, give more characters personality, and more lively, beyond their archetypes, beyond, oh, they're good guys, they shouldn't be so jokey.
Point, Obi-Wan Kenobi. There you go, Yoda.
It's okay for them to be jokey guys, you don't
Mace
have to be...
Windu.
If you're trying to say oh, Star Wars is uber serious, it shouldn't be this kiddie, we're talking to a green puppet.
I mean, hey, like I said, kids at point, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, Luke Skywalker.
We're fighting space Nazis with laser swords.
It wasn't the Empire Strikes Back again.
Yeah, which is cool.
Anyway, ending on that note. Hold on.
What time we got?
1 more minute. Okay. So, ending on this note, Star Wars, Last Jedi, really good.
Watch it.
Alright guys, sorry I have to cut this short. Please comment, subscribe, tell us what you thought of the movie, and tell us how our opinions are bullshit or whatever. And we'll see you later, bye.
See you guys later.
Adios.